Good afternoon, friends. You are most welcome to Think Eyes channel. Today we are discussing the Kurukshetra magazine. Our topic is agriculture and social security, and author is J.P. Mishra. While agriculture in the rural ecosystem has been the prime source of social security, the agriculturists were often left out from the social security net. It is noteworthy the government of recent times has taken several initiatives that have emboldened the very face of social security to agriculturists. The initiatives of PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, PM Kisan, PMKISAN, PM Kisan, and Kisan Mandhan Yojana are the two very significant initiatives for the income support and old age pension support for those who are the most vulnerable and require financial assistance the most. Let us initiate the topic. While economic indicators do suggest that the contribution of agriculture has been declining since independence, the other side of the coin is a very strong inbuilt social security net that the sector provides to all classes and walks the people in India without the distinct of rich or poor, literate or illiterate, and irrespective of caste, creed, and religion. Social security is inbuilt and intrinsic to agriculture through income augmentation and the mammoth population and rural workforce it absorbs. Social security is also contextualized in terms of food and nutritional security, bringing resilience in the masses to absorb shock and stresses of both the natural and man made extremes, augmenting income and employment to narrow and social and economic exclusion. Agriculture and allied activities being man animal machine material intensive in India have coexisted since the beginning and their relationship has further cemented over time. The famous proverb of great poet Ghag, Ghagh, Ghag, is the best testimony of agriculture's social security since centuries. Uttam kheti, madhyam ban, निषेध चाकरी भीख निदान. Farming is the best occupation, followed by business, service are inferior, and begging is the worst. The agriculture, however, due to several challenges, become less remunerative and attractive over time, which has to be transformed for reversing the trend. While agriculture in the rural ecosystem has been the prime source of social security, the agriculturists were often left out from the social security net. It is noteworthy the government of recent times has taken several initiatives that have emboldened the very face of social security for agriculturists. The initiative of PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, PM Kisan, and Kisan Mandhan Yojana are the two very significant initiatives for the income support and old age pension support for those who are the most vulnerable and require financial assistance the most. Employment and poverty, the key determinants of the social security. The poverty estimates, based on the state level poverty line estimated by the Tendulkar methodology for 2011 and 12, Government of India 2014, and the employment based on the Consumer Expenditure Survey data 2011-12 indicated about 54.3% household of the rural India get employment in agriculture either as self-employed or as casual laborers. The incidence poverty in these households are 19% and 40% of head counts respectively. This is a huge number given that rural India constitutes over 65% of the India's population. The social security net for this large population is the prime necessity. while providing alternate source of employment is a way for those earning as wage laborers in agriculture and non-agricultural activities. Enhancing income of those who are self-employed in agriculture is also important for sustainable development of agriculture and rural agriculture space. A major transformation in agriculture planning and development is required to realize the vision of the Prime Ministers for Atmanirbhar Bharat. This is more important and needed because the population of agricultural workers as percentage of rural population has gone down from about 69% in 1951 to about 55% in 2014-15, but in absolute terms, due to increase in overall population, the number of agricultural workers available in rural areas increased from 131 million in 1960-61 to 263 million in 2010-11. It is estimated that the number of agricultural workers will increase to the about 336 336 million in 2030-33 नीति आयोग 2018. To absorb such a huge workforce with a meaningful employment and income, we need to reorient our strategy and policy for rural India. 1 year of Modi 2.0, more income support to farmer families, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme, PM Kisan, income support of 6,000 rupees per year in 3/4 monthly installments of 2,000 for eligible beneficiary farmers and families. Protecting farmers from falling in the clutches of moneylenders, ensuring continuance in the farming activities. 12.5 crore beneficiaries as per estimated figures of Agriculture Census 2015-16. 71,126.6526 rupees crore released to 9 crore 39 lakh 7,483 beneficiary farmers since inceptions. 49,196.3822 crore rupees released in 2019-20 and 15,924.7846 crore rupees released during 2021 so far. Poverty head count ratio and share of households, which is given here. The heading is Employment and Incidence of Poverty in Rural India. The headlines are All India, Others, Regular Wages over Salary Earnings, Casual Labor in Non-Agriculture, Casual Labor in Agriculture, Self-employed in non-agriculture and self-employed in agriculture. These data are given here. We are not discussing the whole data. We are discussing the headings only and the headlines. 1 year of Modi 2.0, more social security to small and marginal farmers. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Man Dhan Yojana PMKMY. The scheme was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister on 12/9/2019. Assured monthly pension of 3,000 rupees to eligible small and marginal farmers after 60 years of the age. Entry is between 18 to 40 years with cultivable and up to 2 hectares. The government contributes an amount equivalent to the premium paid by the farmers. Over 20.17 lakh farmers registered over enrolled under the scheme as on 1st May 2020. More social security to small and marginal farmers. Food and nutrition for social security. No civilization can even dream of being Atmanirbhar without being food and nutrition secure. India's population is 1.35 billion plus at present. The erstwhile Planning Commission put consumption demand of food and grains at 277 million tons by 2020-2021. The third advanced estimate of the food grain production was released recently by Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare and estimated the food grain production at 295.67 million tons. This implies that the country is well secure for food. The first basic pillar of social security, the Niti Aayog's working group on demand and supply of agricultural commodities and inputs. In its report submitted to the government in 2018, estimated the demand for food grains during 2032 to 2033 at 334 to 350 million tons based on static approach and 326 to 340 million tons as per the behavioristic approach. The estimate on supply of food grains based on all India and states trends has been put at 378 to 415 million tons in the year 2030-33. Thus, the demand supply balance sheet again affirmed the much secure future in terms of food security to bring sufficiency in edible oils and pulses. The government has already moved for national mission on edible oils and augmenting pulses production through production and price incentives production and price incentives under NFSM and PM Annadata Aay Sanrakshan Abhiyan PM ASA. The support price have been escalated to minimum of 150% of the cost of production of respective commodities. The government has also focused on promotion of nutri-cereals and biofortified crops along with public distribution system PDS to bring in nutritional security as well as achieving the second and third pillar of the food security, that is access and affordability of food. To complement the government's effort to complement the government efforts, the Indian Council of Agriculture Research ICAR has developed 53 biofortified varieties and production protocols of nutri-cereals for high productivity or higher productivity. The National Food Security Act NFSA induced targeted distribution among the most vulnerable and needy classes of the society would have fizzled fizzled out had the agriculturists toiled, not toiled, TOILED, toiled hard to produce plenty of food grains. Needy classes of the society would have fizzled out had the agriculturists not toiled hard to produce plenty of food grains. The country is poised to move towards nothing less than second yellow revolution through technological breakthrough. The productivity gains along with utilization of additional area of production to accomplish the near sufficiency in edible oils. Income augmenting opportunities. Income to farmers and other who engage in agriculture is the prime contribution of the agriculture and allied sector in imparting social security. The recent reverse migration, while put enormous pressure on the sector for creating more employment and absorb the maximum migrant labor force in the rural areas, it has also established the deep-rooted confidence among the masses about its resilience and sustenance against any odd, no matter how disastrous it is, in providing two square meals to those who needs the support the most. It has reaffirmed the very fundamentals of locals as envisioned by our Prime Minister. Simultaneously, it has challenged our mindset for looking at agriculture as we have been looking so far. It is a necessity rather than choice. The employment rate in rural India rose to about 20% post COVID 19 outbreak, indicating that while the outbreak started off as an urban phenomenon, the economic impact is also being felt in rural areas. The COVID 19 led national lockdown deteriorate the situation as evidenced in the past few weeks of a mass exodus of laborers, particularly in northern India, from urban centers to their rural hometowns. The situation of both the self employed and casual workers has deteriorated in terms of earning. This calls for a paradigm shift in the most important job provider sector in rural India. The first 30 years after independence, our focus was to achieve food security, and the next 30 years to sustain the food security. The much needed industrial and remunerative employment orientation in the sector, which absorbs close to 50% of the workforce and provides raw material to some of the most labor intensive industries like textile and food processing, was almost missing. Both policies and programs have to be redesigned to convert the low paid and underemployment, providing agriculture into competitive activity with other sectors of economy. The seasonality in agriculture has to be converted into an opportunity. The cropping in India is one of the biggest employer. Based on the CACP data, on average, man days required for 1 hectare cropping and cropped area of the states, it has been estimated that cropping alone in India generates employment of over 14,089 million man days in a year. However, the low farm holdings and limited marketed surpluses, with the majority of tillers yield much low wages or income to the people employed in cropping. In India, the farm endowments are diverse and so is their orientation towards commercial farming. The big farmers, more than 10 hectares of holding, used to sell 45 to 73% of their output. DMI Government of India 2005. These households hold promise for lenders and can take risks to increase their incomes. However, this set of farmers comprises only 0.7% farm families occupying about 11% of the land. The medium farmers 4 to 10 hectare land sell about 38 to 62% of output but constitute 4% of farm families and 21.2% of area. Those commanding 2 to 4 hectare farmland, semi-medium farmers, account 11% of the rural families but occupy 24% of the total farming area. The rest two categories are small 1 to 2 hectare and marginal less than 1 hectare farmers who together comprise nearly 44.5% of the area but sell only 12 to 33% of the output. The incomes of these small and marginal are difficult to increase exclusively through increased productivity in cropping. Hence, the high value commodities, vegetables, dairying, poultry, piggery can make them prosperous, but with great risk as they have to put essentially all their land into vegetables or fodder. Interestingly, this group is often averse of fruit tree plantation for twin reasons. Firstly, part or whole of his land will be diverted to trees, leaving little scope for staple food production, and secondly, gestation long gestation periods in fruits will drive them out of whatsoever little income he or she is making from arable crop. The strategy for landless and less than 2 hectare holding are to earn from rural non-farming sector stimulated by income growth of the small commercial farmer. The farmer with half to 1 hectare of the land could achieve a substantial increase in family income from improved farming practices, but compared to the larger farmers, those with more than 4 hectare land, they are more risk averse, deficit in capital, and unable to obtain institutional credit. Here there is a figure where man days in million in cropping per year is defined. Man days in million in the y-axis and states are in the x-axis. Maharashtra, man days in million 2524.55. Uttar Pradesh 1961.93 man days in million. Rajasthan 1317.80 man days in million. West Bengal 1224.42 man days in million. Andhra Pradesh 1145.83 man days in million. Gujarat 1032.22 man days in million. Karnataka 890.45 man days in million. Madhya Pradesh 876.17 man days in million. Odisha 631.65 man days in million. Bihar 533.03 man days in million. Tamil Nadu 489.63 man days in million. Chhattisgarh 337.78 man days in million. Assam 337.34 man days in million. Haryana 289.85 man days in million. Punjab 218.10 man days in million. Jharkhand 207.6 in man days in million. Kerala 113.92 man days in million. Uttarakhand 83.62 man days in million. Himachal Pradesh 62.15 man days in million. And Jammu and Kashmir 51.61 man days in million. Goa 6.01 man days in million. In cropping per year. Here is one another table. Farm level diversity and risk bearing capacity among Indian farmers. Size of holding, percentage of total number, percentage of total area, percentage output released to market, percent output released to market, and last is risk in diversification towards high value commodities HVC. Size of holding more than 10 hectare, percentage of total number 0.7, percentage of total area 10.6, percentage output released to markets 45 to 73, risk in diversification towards high value commodities HVC, that is low. Size of holding 4 hectare to 10 hectare, percent in total number 4.2, percent of total area 21.2, percent output released to market 38 to 62, risk in diversification towards high value commodities HVC, that is low. 2 hectare to 4 hectare, percent of total number 10.9, percent of total area 23.6, percent output released to market not registered, risk in diversified towards high value commodities HVC, that is moderate. 1 hectare to 2 hectare, percent of total number 17.9, percent of total area 22.1, percent output released to market 12 to 33, and risk in diversification towards high value communities HVC, that is severe. Less than 1 hectare percent of total number 67.1, percent of total area 22.5, percent output released to markets 12 to 33, risk in diversification towards high value communities HVC severe. Diversify towards more income and employment. To address the concerns of food insecurity, the acreage under cereals and pulses increased to as high as 60%, but their share in total value of output from agriculture remains at about 25 to 30%. This indicates a limited opportunity in these commodities. Contrary to this, the contribution of horticulture and livestock together has increased. Hence, diversification has been recognized as a potent tool with the potential to cater the future concerns of food, nutrition and income of social security. The total value of output from agri-allied stood at rupees 2 lakh 11,049 549.6 crore during 2013-14. 20 lakh 11,549.6 crores during 2014. The share of crops excluding horticulture in total value of output was 45%, which has marginally declined as compared to value of output in 1999 to 2000, 47.3%. While other subsectors were almost on the same scale. The significant shift was noticed in livestock, which has moved from 23 to 26.4%, and the agroforestry, which declined from 9.9 to 7.3%. The value of output in livestock sector grew over 3.5 times, closely followed by fisheries at 3.25 times, horticulture at 2.95 times. The crop sector VOP increased by 2.8 times, and the lowest of the agroforestry was 2.2 times. While the composition of the value of output over time did not change much, with crop sector dominating over others, the rate of growth in value of output has dramatically titled towards the high value commodities like horticulture and vegetables, livestock and fisheries. This is evident from changes in the value of output over the time period 1999 to 2011, which indicated almost 1.8 to 2 times higher growth in livestock and fisheries as compared to crop sector. Growth in value of output in different subsectors of agriculture over time 1999 to 2005-6, and another is 2005 to 2011. There is a comparison. क्रॉप 1999 से 2006 के बीच में 0.89%, जो 2005 से 2011 के बीच में 2.30% हो गई. हॉर्टिकल्चर 1999 से 2006 के बीच में 2.63%, जो 2005 से 2011 के बीच में 4.41% हो गई. लाइव स्टॉक 1999 से 2005-06 के बीच में 3.14%, और लाइव स्टॉक जो 4.10% हो गया 2005 टू 2011. फिशरीज़ 1099 में 2.92% था, जो बढ़ गया 2005 से 2011 के बीच में 3.61%. एग्रो फॉरेस्ट्री 1.31% इन 1999 टू 2005-06, जो बढ़ गया 1000, जो बढ़ गया 2005-06 में 1.93%. टोटल 0.83% इन 1999 टू 2005-06, जो बढ़ गया 2005 से 11 के बीच में 3.15%. The future needs reorientation for product diversification. While green revolution technologies favoring intensification was important in first 30 years of independence, the technologies leading to diversification, particularly towards product and process diversification favoring fruits, vegetables, flowers and high value commodities, are crucial catalysts to increase income from declining and depleting land and water. Vertical diversification in these high value communities can provide better and quality employment, fetching more returns to the small size farms. The competitiveness for export promotion would be needed. Added to that, a strong hand holding with small growers is needed for credit and risk management. The absolute employment and share of agriculture in employment generation over time, in general, has shown a definite trend of moving away of the rural workforce from agriculture to non-agriculture sector. However, Maharashtra was the only state wherein the share of employment in agriculture in 2009-10 increased as compared to 2004-5, which is shown in the figure which we discussed before. The diversified farming has been attributed as one of the major drivers for attracting more employment in agriculture for social security. It is an established fact that the states with higher diversification and positive movement towards diversified farming attract more employment in agriculture, while shift of rural workforce from agriculture to non-agricultural activities has been a general phenomenon. There has been a regional disparity too. While northern and southern regions together contributed about 50% of the value of the output initially, which gradually declined to 45% in 2010-11, the contribution of western arid region increased from close to 10% in 1999 to 2000 to about 14%. India is endowed with the largest livestock population in the world. According to the latest livestock census 2019, about 57.3% of the world's buffalo population and about 15% of the cattle population are in India. The country also has about for 72 million sheep, 140.5 million goats and about 11.1 million pigs. 11.5 million pigs. Animal husbandry, dairying, and fisheries activities thus play an important role in the socio-economic development of rural India while contributing to the food basket, nutritional security, and household income of the farmers. The subsector provides gainful employment in the rural areas, particularly among the landless, small and marginal farmers and women. Livestock are the best insurance for the farmers against vagaries of the nature like drought and other natural calamities. Government initiative in agriculture for social security, starting with the latest initiative in the form of Atmanirbhar Bharat with much needed reforms in agricultural market and deciding his price while entering into contract farming with sponsors, private companies, and land tenancy reforms. The government recently took some policy decisions for imparting social security to millions of farmers and agricultural workers, including the animal rearers and fishermen. The PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana PM Kisan is one of its kind which provides direct income support to the farmers. The latest progress report available on official website of the government has demonstrated that over 8.25 crore farmers have got income support under the programs. The risk of crop failure make a farmer and his dependents vulnerable in society. To offset such vulnerability, PM Fasal Bima Yojana was PM Fasal Bima Yojana was launched in 2016 and further improved over time. Since Kharif 2016, the cumulative coverage has been over 9.7 crore farmers. One of the biggest social security net for old age farmers has been introduced in the form of Kisan Man Dhan Yojana, under which a farmer will get 3,000 rupees per month when he or she attains the age of 60 years. The insurance of the fishermen under Fishermen Welfare Scheme has been operational for Social Security against any eventuality in the risk-prone profession. The agricultural credit and interest subvention is another set of financial inclusion instruments that have been adding to Social Security to millions of the small and marginal farmers and those who work on their farms. While direct benefit transfer in the form of PM Kisan is operational with a universal coverage, the much larger inclusion that will impart social security to millions of the landless is providing agricultural credit to lessee cultivators, those who cultivate on leased in land, and the equivalent credit and interest subvention to the animal husbandry and dairying. Such incentives were long pending demands for the benefits of those who contribute significantly for the development of rural India but excluded for the want of some rights of records. Our biggest responsibility is to honor in letter and spirit the legal commitments made in Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2006 and the National Food Security Act 2013 for improving the much needed social security in the rural India. The reforms in agriculture has set the tone for price-led prosperity in agriculture and allied activities, which is likely to be a game changer, which is likely to be a game changer in inclusive development of rural India to make the country Atmanirbhar in all spheres of economic and social activities. The author is Officer on Special Duty Police Planning and Partnership ICAR. He is former advisor Agriculture Niti Aayog and former Deputy Commissioner or OSD and Agriculture Commissioner DACFW Agriculture and Government of India. JP Mishra. Here we are discussing diversification in agriculture and employment. Here there is a graph. In y-axis, employment in agriculture, millions in number, and in x-axis, employment in agriculture in 2004-5, employment in agriculture in 2009-10, percentage change in crop diversification during 1999 to 2000, percentage change in crop diversification during 2000 to 2012. Here in x-axis there are some states: Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Assam, Bihar, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. What is the source? Source is Land Use Statistics of DES, DSCFW and Agriculture at Glance, different issues. In y-axis, diversification, percentage change in HDI is shown. Thank you very much.